I don't know. If I have the choice between Pepsi and Coke, I'm gonna go Pepsi all the time.
Oh, see, I would choose it. I would rather have a Coke.
This is where and this is where we differ.
Yeah, I mean, our friendship is on the line right now. I
Yeah,
got to. You piss me off one more time, we're just done.
yeah. Baja Blast sucks. No, I'm just kidding.
Whoa!
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Friendgame podcast, episode 9 today. I am your host today, Alex, and with me is the OG boy, Ian. Hi.
Every time you say that, I've forgotten that I said that once, and I'm just gonna laugh at it every time.
Well, God, you said that on episode 1. Man, we've done 9 of these.
Right?
Oh, man.
I hate that the running joke is one that I don't like, but I guess I'll have to deal with it.
Well, just come up with a better one.
Yeah, I'll have to think of something.
All right. Well, as you can probably tell by either the video title or was it now, as I say this, E3 has just concluded the other
Yeah,
day.
we are one day post
Yep.
E3 2021.
So we figured that today's episode we delayed today's episode till now so that we can actually, kind of get our thoughts about each of the conferences and kind of go more in depth with things that caught our attention as we were following the C3.
Yeah, we wanted to make sure that we saw everything first, obviously, before we started talking about all the things we were looking forward to. So
Yeah, yeah.
Nintendo was on the last day, so I was like, "Yo, I'm crossing my fingers. We should wait so I could maybe talk about something."
Actually have something to latch onto.
Right, exactly, yeah. And I got what I was hoping for a little bit, so I'm excited to talk about that when we get to it.
Yeah. But first things first, our idea here first is to kind of individually go through each of the conferences within a short period of time here, and then pick and choose like 2 games that we found kind of interesting through those conferences, and then have a little bit more of an in-depth conversation about some of the things that we saw, or a couple of the games that we both really, really are excited for in the future here. So
Yeah, there was what, like five days of conferences and a summer games thing. So there's a lot of little things that we could talk about that it would make the episode very long. So we're like Alex said, we're gonna skim it through a little bit and touch on the big things that we thought were interesting.
yeah, a lot of them were just kind of revealed trailers, but it's a good idea for us. We figured that it's a good idea to cover some of the interesting reveal trailers or concepts that we saw.
Yeah, and like a lot of things at E3s and other things like that is like games that are already out but are like coming to new systems and stuff. So like the one example I have from this past year is like the Doom Eternal DLC is coming to Switch, and we're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, okay, it's already out." So like Switch players are like, "Yay!" But everyone else is like, "This has been out for a year already."
Right.
They're probably not going to talk about that kind of stuff, even though like it is cool and cool. I can play Doom on my Switch, but like
Yeah.
Doom's been out, so it's not a new thing.
Right. All right. Well, I guess let's just get into it.
Get in, yeah, go for it.
All right. So the first thing on our list here to cover is the Summer Games Fest that happened on, I believe, Thursday. This was kind of a sideshow to or the prelude to E3, showing
Yeah, it
off
was
some
like
cool things that
it was an
developers-
appetizer.
Yeah. So I guess first thing to list that was announced was Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. Kind of a new Borderlands-ish spin-off from what I hear. Was it essentially this is
Yeah, it's
supposed
like
to
it's
be
gonna be like its own standalone spin-off thing that's not
Yeah.
like a DLC for any of the Borderlands games that are already out, but it's
Yeah.
not like Borderlands 4 either.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, from the like little bit that that we got to hear about that they're planning, it's essentially take Borderlands and that Borderlands 2's Tiny Tina DLC and put
which was
more of
Dungeons
that
and Dragons themed.
yeah,
By the
put
way,
more
for
of
anyone
that
doesn't know.
that Dungeons and Dragons feel into it for that kind of looter shooter genre. So hopefully we'll get to see more information about that, as the year goes on.
It's a super fun DLC, and it was very funny, and that game has such a good sense of humor. So like, just more of that type of content, should be interesting. It looks cool.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like shooting dragons with machine guns and stuff, like about as badass as you can get.
I just can't wait to hear all the D&D jokes as we go.
Right, exactly, yeah. Because in the DLC for Borderlands 2, Tiny Tina was the narrator for it, and she's hilarious. So
Right.
I think it's adult Tina in this, based on the trailer.
Yep.
But whatever.
All right.
That's early 2022 is all we know for a release date for that. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Out of nowhere, we got a little bit of Metal Slug Tactics. If anyone played Metal Slugs, growing up, it's getting a tactics game, so that's pretty cool. That's really all the information we got on that. Death Stranding's getting a director's cut, meaning I'm guessing that they're just adding all the deleted scenes into the thing. Cool.
Yeah, it's probably like a DLC package bullshit.
I think, yeah. That's what it looks like. Jurassic World. That was announced. A new Jurassic World game. I didn't even know that there was a first one.
I didn't know that there was a first one either.
Yeah.
Truthfully.
This is one that's actually kind of interesting to me. Is Amazon picked up Lost Ark, which is a Korean action RPG.
Like a Diablo-ish kind of game, right?
Yeah, that was the Diablo, like Korean Diablo kind of game that was kind of making the rounds when it was in closed beta. I don't know if you remember that. There was a lot of people kind of covering that at that time.
I was just reading up on it a little bit beforehand and saw that.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see that Amazon actually managed to pick them up. So that's interesting. I'm wondering if it's still going to be free to play or not. That's because usually Korean games are generally free to play. New Call of Duty season. Hype for all those players. I'm personally out of the Call of Duty loop nowadays, but all right.
And it's not like Call of Duty. It's Warzone, so it's like
or Cold War also. I'm pretty sure got pass announcement as well.
Oh, okay. I thought it was just Warzone Season 4. So if you're not into the Battle Royale, then not exactly Call of Duty, but...
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of small stuff here that was announced at Summerfest as well. Things like...
I think those are the highlights, I think, though.
The really big highlight that we should really discuss here is... Elden Ring.
Hell to the yes.
They held the last, like, the by far the biggest announcement for last on that teaser day. And there was no better way to disappoint everyone throughout E3 than to just essentially give everyone the a nice chocolate cake first. Which is
I'm okay with it.
Yeah. Which is my thoughts on this. We'll go more in depth with this later because I have more information about this.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I guess for those that don't know, Elden Ring is the next game from Software, the makers of Dark Souls. So everyone's been eagerly awaiting what their next project is going to be, and we saw a little bit about it like 2 years ago, like 2019 or something.
Yeah.
And it was a very, very short teaser trailer, and then we've seen nothing since then. And now we actually have gameplay. So we're excited to talk about that some more.
That is a collaboration game with George R.R. Martin too.
The guy
Game of Thrones. So.
Game of Thrones, Song of Fire and Ice, or Ice and Fire. I always mix it up.
So
Ice and Fire, I think is what it is. But it looks sick.
Yeah.
It looks really cool.
All right. So on the next day, the Ubisoft conference went on, and they showed off Rainbow Six Extraction. I don't know if you saw, really paid attention to this.
I saw that it was announced. I didn't see if there was a trailer or anything, so if there is, I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
But I read a little bit about it.
Yeah. Essentially, if you if you took Siege and you put it into an alien PvE environment, and that's what you're kind of getting.
So is it like the Alien Isolation game?
No, it's gonna play. It's gonna play like Rainbow Six Siege.
Oh, so it's like a tactical
Yeah,
team shooter.
it is. It is still that tactical team shooter, but now you're against aliens, and all of your objectives are also kind of similar objectives you get in like the mainline game. So this is kind of like a spin-off on like the standard Rainbow Six Siege kind of game.
It's not like a Division.
Yeah, it's not like a Division.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I was talking to this with one of our buddies who actually plays Siege, and I was telling him about how, if you played Siege, you're gonna know all of the like operators' abilities and stuff. So all that skills kind of transfer over into like what your thought process and how you use those abilities in this this new kind of game mode, or this new game that they're making. So I thought that was pretty cool for the Ubisoft announcements.
I'm reading this little blurb about it, and it says, "Say goodbye to Rainbow Six Quarantine and hello to Rainbow Six Extraction." So it must have been called Quarantine beforehand, and then it says, "Ubisoft made the name change to its Siege PvE spin-off for reasons that don't need to be explained to anyone who's been on planet Earth for the last 18 months."
That's actually really funny.
Probably a good idea that they decided to change the name from Quarantine to Extraction.
Yeah.
Makes a little bit of sense.
Yeah, like the little blurb that I did hear about it was that Quarantine was like a small game type that showed up for a small period of time, and a lot of people liked it, but it just never came back. So this is kind of like they're taking it and making it a thing. All right, let's see what else came out for Ubisoft stuff. New Far Cry was announced.
Yeah, it looks I have not played any Far Cry games, so I don't know if this is exciting for Far Cry fans or not, but it looks cool.
Yeah, definitely looks pretty cool. I haven't played any Far Cry games myself either.
They're basically just like
open world exploration.
Open world, yeah, story driven kind of RPG kind of games.
Yeah.
It's like is it like a Horizon Zero Dawn?
I think so.
Or no?
I have no idea.
Okay. This is one that I'm gonna probably look up and research a little bit more after this, just because it does look cool, and the Far Cry games are pretty popular. They made 6 of them.
Right.
And I only ever hear good things, so.
Looks like they did show off the new Assassin's Creed, which is supposed to be kind of Viking themed this time around.
Valhalla, yes.
A lot of games in that series.
There are a lot, and that's another one where, like, I played the first one and it was like fine.
Yeah.
And then I've heard bad things about a lot of the rest of them.
As they just continue going on.
Yeah, there's just like so many of them.
Yeah.
Who is that? What's the studio?
I don't know. Mario and the Rabbids got another game announcement, which is
the only thing I remember from the conference when this game was showed is I'm like, wait, Mario has guns.
Yeah.
He has fucking like dual wield blaster pistols. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Is that like a Rabbids thing? I've never played a Rabbids game either.
Rabbids are kind of Rabbids showed up in the Rayman series. For like the party games for the Rayman series and the Wii, and they've just become like a really popular thing.
But like, do they have guns? Like, why does Mario have guns?
Well,
Mario has MP5 akimbos in this game. Like, I don't.
Well, I think that kind of reference is also coming from the XCOM side, because I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, like the studio that kind of does this game also works on XCOM.
Really?
Yeah, and then
that's such a weird collaboration.
and the Rabbids also are kind of weird in that they have a lot of different kind of weaponry in general.
Yeah.
Like the classic thing that people will remember about Rabbids are the plungers.
Oh, I have seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, it's not new to see Rabbids with like blasters because we definitely have seen like future Rabbids and past Rabbids all show up before. But yeah, that's some that game that's a game series that I should sit down and play. That's for sure. Because that looks like the game that I
I
would
was
like.
like, I just can't get the image of Mario with guns out of my head.
That I think that's the point that they wanted to draw.
And maybe, yeah, it's gonna make me curious to see more when they talk about it more.
Ubisoft also announced a new Watch Dogs game. That was an interesting concept back in the day. The first time that I had ever heard of Watch Dogs, where like essentially you're a guy that controls technology on your phone as you just like walk around the world, which is pretty cool. Essentially GTA, but you control technology. I don't know if you ever like.
I have not been a Watch Dogs boy, no.
Yeah, I've only like seen some of the stuff on the side, but I've never really actually played the games. The big announcement from Ubisoft though was the Avatar game,
Yes,
Frontiers
this
of
is one
Pandora.
I'm pretty interested in. This is another one where we've known about it for a long time. Like it was announced in like 2017 or something crazy like
Right,
that.
because Massive was the one that was supposed the guys that did
Yes,
Division
and they were
are
doing
the
the Division
developers.
2 stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they've been kind of tied up with that. So if this is like when I saw the trailer for this is a game that gave me big Horizon Zero Dawn vibes where it's
Mm,
like open world but like super pretty, like all the environments are really cool and really interesting, and it's the world of James Cameron's Avatar, so it's like it's a really unique world, like Horizon Zero Dawn, with instead of machines it's like super cool alien wildlife and stuff.
right.
It just looks really cool.
Yeah.
I'm interested too because I'm pretty sure James Cameron is still working on the second
Mm,
movie. So I wonder if this is gonna be like an independent thing from that, or is it gonna be like an echoing of the movie? Because we don't
right.
know anything about it. I'm just like want to be a blue boy and fly around on dinosaurs, or like it's gonna be cool because you're like flying around on these like beasts and stuff, but you're
Yeah.
fighting against like attack helicopters. I
Yeah.
guess it's such an interesting world to
Right.
explore. And if it's like I assume it's gonna be huge, so you're gonna be able to roam around and explore a bunch of different cool stuff. So
Yeah.
I'm keeping my eye on that one for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. It
Especially
looked
since
really
if
cool.
it's from Massive that did the Division 2, like their world is super cool and interesting and fun to explore
Mm,
also. So if they, you use what they learned to make the Division games to make this world super cool and fun to interact with, I'm all about it.
yeah. Yeah. I agree. Massive has definitely done a really good job with the Division world, so I can't see why they wouldn't
Hmm.
do, especially Division 2, adding all the sort of greenery to a world instead of just kind of the overall
It's
streets, right?
everything
So,
was gray.
right. Well, that's because you were in the city of New York,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And even revisiting New York in the Division 2's DLC, like all the greenery they did add to it to show that like,
Hmm.
hey, like this place has aged since then. So yeah, I definitely can't see why they wouldn't be able to pull that off.
And I was surprised to see that um 2022 release date.
Right,
Like that's sooner than I would have expected since we haven't heard anything in however long.
right.
But probably like since they're probably close to being done with working on Division 2 heavily, so they can stick to whatever their schedule is a little firmer now.
Mm. All right. Next up, we have the Xbox conference. First things first, Starfield.
Uh, Starfield looked cool. There's so many space and alien games coming out. It's weird, but
Yeah, yeah, that was a joke that I was seeing on Twitter.
yeah, there's like 10 different alien games and 3 Chernobyl games coming out, and we're like,
mm,
yeah, we just had a pandemic, didn't we? Huh?
yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually don't know too much about this. If you want to kind of like fill me in about this, because
I would like if anyone hasn't seen the trailer, it's super short, but you should watch it, and it makes you feel like the movie Interstellar made you feel.
Oh, okay.
Those are the vibes I get from it because it's like futuristic space
Mm.
bullshit. And the trailer is very simple. It's like alpha footage, so like it's not the greatest graphically,
Mm.
obviously, because they're working on it still. But it's gonna be like this open world sci-fi space exploration RPG thing
Okay.
where there's like a bunch of spaceships and mechs and landing on planets and upgrading stuff is what it looks like. I don't think we have any gameplay
Yeah.
because I think this is like a brand new thing.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, when I was listening in on the conference, this is supposed to be their project over an Elder Scrolls game.
Yes.
So.
What the little blurb that I have in front of me here is that Bethesda has said that it's Bethesda's first new universe that they've created in the last 25 years. So like
Wow.
they've been working on this for a long time
Yeah.
because they've had a bunch of Skyrim and Fallout and all those things that they are like universes that they've been working with.
Right.
This is like the new project they're taking on.
Yeah. That's actually
So
super cool though.
it is pretty cool, yeah. They talked a little bit about like a bunch of like a different ranges of planets and settlements and stuff that you can post up and outpost on and
Mm.
you know yeah, I don't know, it's some sci-fi realism stuff which is just kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't wait to hear more things about it in the future here. Looks like.
Yeah, and this is one at the Xbox conference, but it's coming to PC too if anyone was concerned on that. So
All right.
and it's coming out right around my birthday 2022, so easy clap.
Next year. Probably hear
Yeah.
more information about it next year.
Yeah. Like I said, this is like kind of the first we're hearing from it, so like we don't have it.
Yeah.
There's just the one trailer plus whatever they said in the conference, and no gameplay that I am aware of. So, well, it's on my radar again. This one is to wait and see.
Speaking of the Chernobyl games that we were talking about, Stalker 2 got an announcement.
Yeah,
I've heard like from some of the old YouTubers that I used to watch. I remember one of them played Stalker, like the original Stalker. Mm-hmm. So, and that game was kind of like, if I remember correctly, the game's a little old. So
yeah. Or
the game is getting
have you played any of the Metro games?
I played a bit of the first one.
Yeah, it gives off a like big Metro vibes,
right?
Because it's like kind of like steampunky Chernobyl Russian.
Yeah, that kind of like
vibes. Yeah,
that kind of like was yeah, that Fallout-y vibe.
Fallout-y, yeah. It's less of an action shooter. It's like a little bit of a slow-paced kind of shooter.
Yeah.
And I almost like when I was watching the trailer, the gunplay, it looked like it would feel like an Escape from Tarkov kind of game.
Right. Very kind of like realistic.
Realistic, and like when you shot your gun, you could like fucking barely see anything because it's like shaking and the muzzle flash is fucking in your face.
Right.
Because like it would be. Yeah. So like that makes sense. So it's not gonna be like a Nazi zombies. It's gonna be like a like a Metro basically.
Right. They showed off more Back 4 Blood at Xbox.
Yeah, I had not heard of Back 4 Blood until this. Like,
really?
Have we? Yeah.
Really? The game was in closed beta a couple months ago. And a lot of people were actually pretty impressed by it. Essentially,
is it just PvP?
No.
Or is that part of what they were showing?
That was part of what they were showing off.
Okay.
Essentially, take Left 4 Dead, but add roguelike mechanics in each run. So you have the kind of Left 4 Dead AI where like the AI tells where to spawn things and kind of like randomizes the map like it always has, but now you're adding in I think like what they call like wild cards.
Oh, okay.
So what these cards do are like they can give you buffs and they can give you like negative effects that happen throughout
I
the
see.
run. I think the game is also. I heard that the game was also a little bit more punishing because of how the like failing to move on to progress to the next checkpoint works. But I don't know too much about that yet.
Mhm.
I do know that this game does look pretty cool because there are different survivors and each of them kind of like excel at something different too. So
Right. Yeah. The part that I did see was the PvP where they were kind of explaining some of the different like special types of zombies that you could be, and like the dude with the big hand, and then like the
yeah,
spitty guy. I don't remember any of the names. But
yeah. I think
it's the spitty guy. I don't know.
I think it's so interesting too because these are like new takes on all of the monsters that they originally created.
Yeah, it's like it's not the tank, but it's like a different
Yeah,
big guy.
right. And then
It's not
like
the hunter, but like there's a guy that jumps or whatever the hell.
yeah, kind of does like the same thing. So,
Yeah.
yeah. That's
It's,
really
it's almost
interesting.
like classes and subclasses for your zombie types, which is kind of cool. Because there's like the big guy, but then there was like a couple of different versions of him, and then there was like the explodey guy, but there was a couple of different versions of him, and those are all kind of cool.
Yeah.
They're all just gonna be called big guy, explodey guy, tiny guy, bitty guy, ugly guy.
Oh man, that's gonna be your callouts to it.
I mean, the ugly guy is gonna just like be my player character. Smooch.
Another big announcement was that Jack Sparrow was coming to Sea of Thieves.
Ooh.
Not
a big Sea of Thieves guy. So.
Oh yeah, I think like if there was a way to get people to like check out your pirate game is to throw.
But it is cool that they're gonna get the Disney collab.
So right.
That is pretty cool. Yeah.
Some of the big things that they showed off here. I'm gonna start out with Psychonauts 2. Psychonauts is finally getting a sequel. That's a game that like back in the Xbox 360 days. This game was like Xbox the first Psychonauts was like hailed as like one of the best games that Xbox ever had.
Really?
Yeah, I do remember a lot of people really liking this game because essentially like what the game is that you're going into people's minds and those were like the levels.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So like you were figuring out what problems they had, but like you were actually physically like in their mind. So like all the levels were kind of weird and
that gives you some space for some interesting level design.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, but the two, God, I can't say two because as I scroll down, Xbox announced a whole bunch of stuff. All right, Battlefield, new Battlefield. 2042.
2042.
Wow. The weather effects in this game? Holy moly.
I'm seeing this one screenshot of a sandstorm, and yeah, how the fuck are you supposed to play a shooter when this is going on?
Or like if you
or like drive a plane in that shit?
Yeah.
Like, no thanks. I'm immediately leaving.
Yeah, or like
gonna suffocate to death.
A tornado shows up on the field and starts like sucking everyone inside, like
giving the big suck. All right, I'm in. Pre-order placed.
Yeah,
scales up to 128 players across the largest multiplayer maps ever seen in the series.
Yeah, like
kind of wild.
2042 is.
You ever play that game Mag?
Yes.
That game was a pile of garbage. And that was another like 70v70 multiplayer shooter game.
Yeah.
It did not do well, but
I think Battlefield has like a legacy though. Right?
Yeah,
that is the like they've refined their kind of gunplay and stuff already and their vehicle mechanics. So
I've already seen streamers, talking about and being excited for this. Just like people who are like Battlefield and Call of Duty people. I am not one of those, but it looks cool.
Yeah.
For sure.
I've always found Battlefield to be more of a casual, like if I have a group of friends to play with and I can just like mess around, like
because you could just like fly planes into buildings and shit. If you really wanted to.
and like you could squad up with your team and So, next big thing that they announced was they finally showed off Halo Infinite.
Yeah.
Finally. we finally got to see refined stuff about Halo Infinite. And not only did they do that, they showed off some multiplayer too. So all the people who
Reworked Blood Gulch, Pog Champ.
Hey, it's like the classic saying says in for Counter-Strike players: if there is a map creation, there is a Dust 2.
Yep.
All right. If there's a Halo map, it's gonna be a Blood Gulch.
Yep. Again, like I've said before, I didn't have an Xbox, so I'm not the biggest Halo aficionado like a lot of other people are. But I'm so excited to see that Halo's still doing stuff.
Yeah, I'm glad to see that. Looks like the Halo franchise is.
Yeah. Plus, like
strong
since
still.
Microsoft shit, like you can get Halo on PC and stuff now. So I might like, if I ever wanted to play Halo, I actually could now. So.
Right. Yeah.
And it says holiday 2021 is all we know for a release date for that one, but that's 6 months or less, so people are excited, I'm sure.
That's like a year and a half.
Holiday
2021. Oh, I'm sorry. I saw 2020. I heard 2022. Yeah. My brain just like.
Yeah. So I mean, holiday to me means Christmas, and we're already fucking June.
Yeah.
So.
Wow. Oh my god. Yeah, that's basically what I saw from the Xbox announcements. Square Enix was the next one. The big thing that they really showed off was, hey, they're making a Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy game.
This game looks fun. This game gave me fucking what? Oh shit! The Final Fantasy with the boy band. Which one was that?
Oh, 15?
15?
Yeah.
With Noctis in them. This gave me that kind of vibes.
Yeah. I can see that.
I haven't played that game. But the party, like you play as Star-Lord, who's the main guardian, but then you can summon your other pals to do moves and use their weapons and stuff.
Yeah.
So it makes the combat super flowy and combo-y, and it looked fun. It looked like it would be fun to do.
Yeah, I definitely I've played a lot of the other Marvel RPGs or RPGs that Square Enix has released back in the day. So things like Ultimate Alliance and the X-Men Legends series. I did grow up playing those. It was really funny to see. Essentially, this is the evolution. This is the how far we've come to where now.
Yeah, I mean it's going to be a similar third-person single-player adventure, story-driven adventure kind of game.
Yeah, but I think the interesting part with this game in particular is how it has that Mass Effect-y feel where your decisions matter, right? Because they were showing off all the some of the dialogue options and stuff that they had, and I thought that all the banter was also really funny as well. So
that's something I saw in the interview that they were doing. They're like, we're making a Guardians of the Galaxy game, and everyone's seen the movie, so it has to have that similar vibe where it's action-y, all the characters are awesome, and it's really funny, and it has great music, and they're like, yeah, we have all of that, it's gonna be awesome. And I'm like, okay, I see you.
I'll give it a shot.
I fucking hope they get really obscure with the comic book references and they get fucking Cosmo the dog or something in there, dude. Give me the Blood Brothers in this game, my guy. No one fucking knows who the Blood Brothers are except for me and my dad. Get me if Cosmo the dog is in this game, I would buy it twice.
That's funny. Then Square Enix, moving on. Then Square Enix decided, hey, let's show off some of our mobile titles. It's cool. But we got 3 more things to really go off on here for Square Enix. It's first one I'm going to cover is Life is Strange. This is a game series that I personally have not played. But I've heard
played the first one.
Heard very good things. And one of my other friends is extremely excited for this next game.
He's what? Tyler, right?
I'm sure he is as well.
Because he turned me on to the first one. So.
Yeah. but was it a like story driven game?
Yeah, telltale game. So it's like,
Yeah,
you know,
kind of
more
that
like
telltale kind of
the
feel.
gameplay is like your decisions and stuff that you
Right.
make. It's more of a story than a game, but you
Mm,
still interact with it.
but I've heard that the writing is like really good. So
Yeah, like I said, I've only played the first one, and it was fucking good.
right.
Like, it was fucking good. And like, yeah, so it's Life is Strange, and then Life is Strange like before the storm or Calm in the Storm or something like that, and that's a prequel to the first game.
Yep.
And then I don't know where this one is. Is it
This is
like
supposed to be.
is it are there similar like are some characters returning, or is it just like a whole new story, or what the deal is?
I
I'm
think.
not 100% sure.
I think this is supposed to be a whole new story.
Yeah,
So
like a spin-off basically.
yeah, basically following a different character that has different kind of powers.
Similar powers, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Um.
Yeah, because this one's called True Colors, where
Mhm.
the main character you play as can see people's emotions as different colors and stuff, and
Yeah.
that kind of influences the way you interact with and talk to people.
Yeah.
So it looks really cool.
Yeah. So excited to see another one of those entries because I think
That's gonna be a game where like when it comes out, you should like
Like-
exile yourself from social media for a little bit,
oh
just
yeah.
to, like to not accidentally see anything, because
Yep.
that's the experience of those types of games, is like, experiencing it yourself.
Yeah.
Because
For
since
sure.
it's like since it's all story driven and stuff.
Mm.
So
All right. Next game on this list, Babylon's Fall. Did you see anything about this at all? So, Platinum Games.
no, I haven't.
Platinum Games, the guys that are the group that made Bayonetta and the Metal Gear Rising. They're really known for their sort of like action hack and slash
Action-y
games.
beat 'em up
Yeah.
games.
They're making an action RPG,
Oh,
a co-op action RPG. So, and it looks like they have their own world and stuff. So, was it a it was mainly an announcement. We saw some gameplay through the trailer, but it looks like it's still got some work to do before it really gets nice and polished up. But overall, from what we were seeing, if it continues in this direction, it looks pretty good, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So
yeah. There's not a release date for that one, so it might be
Yeah.
kind of early in its thing.
yeah. And then the last thing to really cover is
That sounds interesting. I did not see that one.
is Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origins.
Yeah.
Uh,
Final Fantasy spinoff.
yeah. It's kind of funny to me because when I was watching the coverage live and I was watching the trailer, I was like, as they were telling the story, or as the story was kind of being unfolded through all the like dialogue and stuff that was happening, I was like, this has to be like some sort of weird spin-off of the original Final Fantasy game. And lo and behold, Garland, the main villain of the first game, shows up in his like iconic armor, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm glad
He looks
that
really cool.
yeah, yeah. Garland has always been like a really cool looking character for a bad guy because his armor just looks really sick. But like this is interesting to me to see that they're taking that old story and kind of retelling it in a different way.
Well, yeah, because it's called Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin, so
Yeah.
it makes sense. Like, it's the origin story. It's like the original, but it's just updated a little bit.
Yeah, this isn't even exactly like the direct kind of like
Yeah,
storyline
probably not
for that.
an exact retelling.
Yeah, but this is it's interesting to see the same kind of concept used because the original Final Fantasy story of the Warriors of Light going to stop chaos or like stop evil has always kind of been like the backdrop of the original, I want to say 3 Final Fantasy games. So like they're essentially doing that, except they have like it's got the Final Fantasy flair with like the
hot dudes with big weapons.
Yeah, with the
All right, good.
with like a different combat. So
Yeah.
yeah, that was kind of interesting to me. I hope to see more about that in the future. All right, next up, the big one.
Are we there yet? Oh,
Nintendo Boys. They first started off by showing off Kazuya from Tekken, showing up in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Smash. It's gonna be kind of awesome, actually. You're gonna get to fight fucking Ryu from Street Fighter, Kazuya from Tekken, fucking Mario, Sonic, Solid Snake, fucking
Terry
Cloud,
from...
Cloud.
Yeah,
fucking
there's Cloud.
Terry, fucking
Mega Man.
Mega Man, fucking Saberwolf, fucking everybody's in this game. Get my man Kilgore in this game next, dude. Like, we just need one character from every fighting game ever in Smash.
I mean, that's what we're coming up to at this point. Let's be real.
Yeah, because we were talking about it earlier. All we need is Kilgore and Scorpion, and we got them all.
Yeah, that's yeah, I think that's pretty awesome. And like, it's really funny to me too, because so far Smash Ultimate, for like all these kind of guest characters, have always kind of kept their kind of, origin playstyle. So it's gonna be interesting to see like what Sakurai reveals for that.
They did like a little bit of a move set showcase.
And he just like has so many moves.
He has a 10-hit combo in Smash. Like, what? That's literally the name of the combo, is 10-hit combo. It's fucking wild. He's got so many moves.
All right. Super Monkey Ball got another
Super
announcement.
Monkey Ball, dude.
I did not expect this. This is a game that has gone off the radar for a pretty long time, I think.
Like one of the oldest game series ever. There's so many Monkey Ball games.
Yeah. I think, though, that it's awesome to see that they are bringing it back, and they're bringing all the mini game, like the stupid...
Yeah.
Was it, I was listening in to, like, some of the streamers react to this, too. To like Nintendo's conference, and one of them was like, man, it feels like we're going back to the GameCube with Nintendo's releases here so far. Super Monkey Ball's coming back. Super Monkey Ball hasn't really come back to like a Nintendo system since I want to say the GameCube. So
I don't remember, but yeah, something like that.
I'm excited for that. My family played a lot of Super Monkey Ball 2, and we did a lot of a lot of the party games and stuff too. Next thing they announced,
I played it in arcades. I never got like the GameCube one, because I remember like using the banana controller like on the arcade cabs. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. Next game they announced, Super Mario Party Superstars.
Yeah,
new Mario Party game.
It's basically like all the Mario parties just like shoved together.
Yeah,
or at least a lot of them shoved together,
with like the best parts put in. So like a bunch of
like the best part is 100% just the mini games are the best part of that game. And they even said it's 100 mini games from across all of the series, as well as like old ass like game boards from like the N64 games and stuff. Yeah. Like it's gonna be like, obviously new Mario Party game is awesome, new ways to hate your friends, but you get to bring back the old ways you hate your friends now too. It's gonna be sweet.
Yeah, that's, I mean, like, as someone who enjoys playing party games with family and stuff, that's going to be definitely something that I'll be looking out for.
It's something else that's good too, is that you don't like, before like you were playing on your GameCube, like you all had to be there couch playing and stuff, but you can like net play, like online play Mario Party with friends too, so you could be out of swinging distance when you take somebody's star. That's going to be the best part.
Next thing they showed off more Mario Golf. Man, it's been a while since we've seen a Mario Golf game.
I played the original Mario Golf game, and that shit was fire.
Yeah, I did too. I also played the GameCube one, Toadstool Rush.
Toadstool Rush was one of my most played GameCube games. The best part about this game is that I get to see Bowser in fucking golfing pants.
Golfing pants.
Got a fucking polo. I just imagine Bowser's one of those like kind of like big dudes when he's golfing. He's really only there to smoke.
Yeah.
He's really only there to smoke a cigar and drink beer out in the middle of the day. And he's got
Yeah.
like his sunglasses on, and his golfing shirt has like one too many buttons unbuttoned, so you can see his chest hair. Like that's what I'm imagining Bowser's gonna like. That's why I imagine Bowser as a golfer is like. It just makes me laugh.
Yeah. Yeah, like it looks like a classic Mario Golf game, but like I'm super glad to see it back, especially on the Switch, because we definitely need more Mario Sports-esque games on there. For sure. WarioWare got an announcement. I don't know if you've ever played any of the WarioWare games.
Yeah, I played the one on the Wii.
Yeah, I did too.
Whatever one that was.
Yeah. Like all those like random weird.
Those games are those games are wild. They're wild. That's a whole different cast of characters. Like who the hell are all those dudes?
Yeah, but like
it was like Kit and Kat and like the dude with the afro and like fucking wild.
Yeah, but like it looks like so much fun, especially to see WarioWare coming back.
It's very very wacky for sure.
All those mini games like that's gonna be fun. Shin Megami Tensei, JRPG that's really popular. Got
that
shown.
game I had not like. It's a pretty popular series that I actually haven't heard a lot about, and it looks kind of cool.
Yeah,
it's like if you know what it kind of reminded me of.
What?
It reminded me of the GameCube Pokemon games, like Coliseum.
Oh yeah,
where you roam around like that, and then like you like instead of catching Pokemon, you catch like fucking demons and shit, and then like they level up and evolve.
Yeah,
and you battle with them.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, I think they are, or the developers also make Persona. So that's why it's kind of similar in its art style.
Right. It looks cool, yeah.
Danganronpa got Danganronpa?
Danganronpa.
Yeah. Was it got another announcement? I know that this is kind of like a obscure game series too, but I know that a lot of people in like the anime community are pretty excited about it.
Yeah,
I don't know if you know anything about it.
I know like what it
about.
is,
yeah,
but I've never played one. So
yeah. Essentially murder mystery.
Yeah, there's like a bunch of mini games where you have to like try to figure out like you find a dead body and figure out who did it and play mini games and stuff. And and it's all like a bunch of like high school kids basically. It takes place in a school or some shit.
Yep. It's that's really the big center point about it is it's a murder mystery. Advance Wars getting a remake. I have never had the chance to play these games.
You've never played an Advance Wars? That strikes me as like a you kind of game.
Yeah,
actually.
But this is a game series that I did definitely want to try and play as a kid, but just never got the chance to.
It's I don't remember. I think is back in high school, you would do like the computer science classes and like get your shit done in 10 minutes and then have the rest of the semester whatever you wanted. I played this on an emulator in one of those classes for like 2 years. I played like an old ass Advanced Wars game.
That's really funny actually.
It's super fun because it's like turn-based like tactical strategy game with like toys. So you have like toy tanks and like trucks and airplanes and stuff that you move around and try to like kill the opponent. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like each of the units have like different like squares that they can move and different ranges that they can shoot at. So yeah, it's like very very like strategy focused.
Yeah, but like seeing that's getting a remake, like I was like, well, I have to pick this up and you play it on my Switch now.
It's called Reboot Camp, which is the perfect name.
So the big kind of announcement that came out of nowhere was a new Metroid game, Metroid Dread.
New 2D Metroid.
Yeah, new 2D Metroid game in the mainline series.
They said in the trailer, or not the trailer, in the like during the conference, it's the first 2D Metroid game in 19 years.
Yep, this is the first game to expand the Metroid 2D, like the 2D Metroid story and universe. In 19 years.
Almost 20 years. And it looks fantastic.
Oh yeah,
like it's like a like quote unquote 2D game, which is like you move side to side, but like all the visuals are like 3D rendered, and like the back, like just looking at the backgrounds of some of the levels are like
Mm-hmm.
super dynamic with like the weather and
Yeah.
the like the wildlife and plants and shit in the background. It looks amazing.
It looks gorgeous, and all of the animations for like Samus her
Yeah,
movement, she looks really good
it looks
in that 2D
amazing.
3D field.
I just really like one of the biggest draws for the Metroid games is like they're super atmospheric and
Mm,
like, they give you a feel when you play them. So like
yeah,
seeing it updated graphically so you can see everything that's going on in the foreground, obviously when you're fighting and shooting stuff and moving around.
but
But like
also in the
just
background.
just adding to the 2D, like it's a 2D screen you're looking at, but there's so much in the environment that you're just
Mm,
like walking past and get to like look at and experience that adds to the atmospheric part of what makes Metroid games awesome.
yeah,
And it's just even better now. So I'm really excited about it. And this is just like a big surprise
yeah.
that
This was
Nintendo dropping the bombshell on us
yeah. I think this was my biggest surprise of this conference for
for
sure.
sure.
Um,
And also, too, they said during the conference that this is coming out. Metroid Dread is what this one is called. Is coming out later this year, and they're also working on a new Metroid Prime game, which is the first-person
yep,
actiony free roam Metroid series,
yep,
which are also very good. So.
yeah. Then Nintendo, of course, couldn't leave it because if they did, then everyone would be questioning their credibility.
Yeah, they
Uh,
talked about Hyrule Warriors DLC.
no, you don't want to talk about that.
No, fuck Hyrule
They
Warriors.
talked about Breath of the Wild 2.
They talked about Skyward Sword HD release. Hell yeah.
So we got a small teaser for Breath of the Wild 2.
Breath of the Wild 2 is what we're fucking here to see. Fuck the rest of your games.
So now Ian's gonna go on his half an hour tangent
I
on
I don't need to go on my half an
Zelda.
hour tangent. That's fine.
Just kidding.
We got gameplay, which is more than we've had before, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
We've known for a little bit that it's gonna like be a sequel, not just another game. We don't know if it's gonna be called Breath of the Wild 2 or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. But it is gonna be a sequel. It's gonna be they said, I'm trying to remember all the things they said in the thing. It's gonna be the same world, same map, but they're expanding it vertically. So you'll see in the old trailer we got a couple of years ago, in this new one, like parts of the map are like floating in the air because of whatever the events of the game are.
Mm-hmm.
And fucking Link has long hair and he has an evil arm. Like
It's
it's
like all
awesome.
gruffed up.
Yeah, in the trailer you see like some sort of calamity malice, like takes hold of him or something. You see it very briefly in the trailer. It's like a
Mm.
like an 80-second trailer or something, 90 seconds.
Right.
It just flashes really quick, something grabs on the Link, and then in the next couple of shots he has like a normal arm and then like a weird kind of corrupted arm.
Mm.
And then he has a couple of, instead of using the Sheikah Slate, which was like the thing you use to like use some of your powers in the first
Mm-hmm.
Breath of the Wild game, he just uses his arm instead, and he has a couple of different powers that he can use.
Ah, okay.
So interesting. Like again, you only see like 3 seconds of any one shot with Link doing anything. So
Right.
we still know very little. And the thing that I was excited to see, but I'm very skeptical of, is that at the end of the trailer, they just flashed 2022 across the screen. And I'm like, oh shit, that's pretty soon. And then I remember, oh wait, it's a Breath of the Wild game, and the first one got delayed like 6 times. So like, cautiously optimistic that 2022 actually stays correct.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna be mad if I have to wait an extra year or two because we had to do that for Breath of the Wild, and then it was amazing.
Right.
It's like I know when they delay stuff, it's not for no reason. It's because they're taking the time to make it awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm right. I'm alright with waiting.
Yeah. Nintendo usually, like, anytime they delay something, it's for a good reason.
Yeah.
Because they don't want their product to go out there and just be like Fallout 76. All right. So, we, overall, what were your thoughts about, what were your overall thoughts about E3?
My thoughts are that it was fine. I didn't get to like binge and like watch everything because it's
Mhm.
like happening during the day and I'm at work, so I kind of have it on in the background and I'm poking in and out here and there.
Mhm.
So, um,
Overall, pretty good.
yeah, I'm excited. I'm probably excited for less things than you. Like you're probably excited about more things than I am. I'm excited about fucking like Avatar, Elden Ring, and Zelda, basically. And
I don't.
only I think none of those things are coming out this year. So
It's really funny because I was having this conversation with one of our buddies. Personally, this E3 for me uh, wasn't super duper exciting. I
yeah, yeah,
overall for the overall when I was watching it, I wasn't super duper wowed by anything up until Nintendo showed up. Personally,
yeah.
Elden
That's
Ring was showed at the beginning, and then those days went by, and then Nintendo showed up and was like, "Hey, yo,
yeah.
here's
They
games."
they put their thing on the table and then said, "Sup,"
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. Uh, but I God, I keep hearing it from I keep hearing it that like Nintendo saved E3, but I just say that Nintendo had the
Nintendo had
Nintendo
a good conference. Everyone
yeah
else didn't. Like,
Nintendo brought what Nintendo does this all the time though, where Nintendo brings what like their fans want, right? If there's anything Nintendo is really good at, it's like catering to those like their people, and
mhm.
like a lot
'Cause,
of
yeah,
people have played Nintendo games before, so
yeah. I was just gonna say a lot of that is because like all of Nintendo's franchises are just like loved by fans. Like Nintendo could say any sentence and then Mario in it, and people will love it. And any sentence and Zelda's in it, and they'll love it, just because like
right.
everyone loves those series. They're so iconic, and like they could have released anybody in the new Smash game, people would have been all over it. But
Mm,
since it's a Tekken character, that brings in another audience too. Like,
yeah.
but then like I don't know, example like can't even think of another example. Like, Xbox's conference was
Here's some new stuff.
like Jack Sparrow in a game that's already out, fine, whatever. Fucking Fallout 76, who gives a shit? Elder Scrolls Online again, hold is that fucking game? Who cares? Hades, already out.
A game
Like,
that's been
yeah, Diablo
essentially
2
played to death at this
remastered,
point.
whatever. Like, yeah,
Yeah, this is like
Among Us, ooh, fucking boy, yeah.
yeah. Uh,
Microsoft Flight Simulator, like, you're telling me is Nintendo brought out Breath of the Wild 2, and you have Microsoft Flight Simulator? Like, kiss my ass.
Nintendo brought Mario Party. I'm pretty sure a lot more people were excited about
Yeah, yeah, exactly, yeah.
that. But yeah, we do have some overlap with things that like we were super interested in. So I don't know if you watched any of the Treehouse for Nintendo's Treehouse for like some of the gameplay of some stuff. I did
No,
sit and
I
I
did not.
did sit through and watch the Metroid Dread. Was the
Oh, they
Treehouse?
did a little gameplay walkthrough.
Yeah, they actually
Hmm.
showed off the game and played it and
Do
was
I
there
get to
on
do
stream.
some cool like SNES Super Metroid movement? 'Cause
Oh yeah,
that's what
dude.
I'm excited about.
Oh yeah, the movement in this game is even more free flow because she has a melee combat or she has some sort of melee attack now where she can do it
Oh,
on the move to like just get rid of like a weak enemy in her way to keep moving forward.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and then she now has a slide option,
Oh,
so she doesn't have to always morph ball in certain situations. So now that just like she has a slide option from the beginning of the game, which allows her to get like move through certain areas, and it
right. Yeah,
makes
if it's like a very like it's something you have to crouch to get through,
yeah
but it's short enough where you can just like run, slide. You don't have to run, stop, morph ball, go through,
yeah
unmorph, and keep running.
yeah, and it keeps all your momentum going too, so
Right.
your
Yeah.
movement feels a lot better. Um, yeah, but like the little bit that they did show off, it was amazing. Was it
Mhm.
they showed off the new sort of like species enemy called the Emmy.
Yeah. Yeah, they're like sentient robots, kind of
Yeah,
cyborg looking things,
yeah,
or like little droids.
yeah.
I don't know exactly.
They're they were created, I believe, to hunt Metroids or like to hunt species. Oh no, they were created from the Galactic Federation
Uh
to
huh.
was to analyze species in an area. So that's why when it like essentially it's just in murder mode then because it has to take it and then was to analyze it, and
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
also I think that would be why these things are kind of unkillable, is because these things are supposed to be built that way so that they can research
Right.
these
Go
different
go in,
species and
go
stuff.
in where like you don't know what's gonna be there, so it has to be
Mm,
able to go up against anything.
yeah. So,
Okay, interesting.
but was it these things this this like one thing reminds me of just like Metroid Fusion. It gives me
With
that Metroid
with
Fusion vibe.
fucking Dark Samus or whatever the hell it is.
With the SAX is what it was called.
Yeah.
It was a
It gives it like a horror, like impending doom kind of feel.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because like was it they were saying on the stream saying, you know, if you get caught by this thing, it's unfortunately it is a one shot or it is a was a game over, but like the game will checkpoint before you have this encounter with this thing. And I thought about Metroid Fusion, and I was like, I think that this thing being a one you know a game over screen is fine, because essentially in those same situations in Metroid Fusion you had the same scenario, except you just didn't die in one hit. um, you had a lot of scenarios, or you had situations in Metroid Fusion where the SAX would show up and then you just couldn't do anything because it caught you right away, so then you just died anyway. So like
Hmm.
essentially they're taking apart, you know, they're taking out that was it the in between time of oh well, now you gotta sit here and die to okay, well, start over, keep going. uh I also think that
It,
it's
it, it makes it feel like scary when you're like you're exploring this, you know, this maze-like environment. And, like
mm,
you never know, around any corner this thing could just like be there. That just like adds to the atmosphere, which is the part that I like the most. So that's interesting.
I more things about this thing is that they patrol specific zones, and they also are attracted to sounds that you make.
Oh, so it has
So
some stealth elements in there.
yeah, so during the gameplay when she's moving throughout the zones, you'll see like sound echoes that this thing is
Yeah.
hearing, and it'll move towards that. They also showed off one of the new power ups to for her to use was essentially a camo device,
Mm-hmm.
so she can camouflage herself and like stand still to get this thing off.
His vision is based on movement.
Yeah, so
For
that was
sure.
pretty cool. But whenever this game or come October, I'm disappearing
Yeah,
for like a week.
October 8th
Yeah,
of this year. Yep.
yeah. Like the fact that it's coming out later this year is pretty insane in my opinion.
Yeah, that means they've been working on it and have been keeping it a secret.
Yeah, yeah. So, that's definitely a game that I'm like super duper hyped for, super interested in. I've always been a
Yeah,
big Metroid person.
yeah, I'll be getting it for sure. Especially if it comes out and people are like, "Yo, it's big Super Nintendo vibes," or yeah, Super Metroid vibes, then I'll be all over it.
Yeah. Um, I only have one other game that I really want to talk about. Do you have anything else?
I mean, we could do an episode on Breath of the Wild, so like
We'll just do an episode on Zelda in general.
I could talk for another 2 hours. So,
All right.
what was the other one you were interested about?
I just wanted to talk about Elden Ring.
Yeah,
This,
that is the one on my list as well.
yeah, this is this is a long time coming. Like
It's big Dark Souls.
it's kind of big Dark Souls.
It's like Dark Souls and Skyrim and Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. Apparently, what I listen, I got to see some interviews and stuff, and
Hmm.
apparently, usually what FromSoft does is that they create the game mechanics first, and then they create the world to fit the game mechanics. This time,
Okay.
since they had George R. R. Martin, was the
Yeah. He
he
probably
wrote
made the world
he made the
first.
world first, and then they built everything around that.
Interesting.
So
God, that is so cool. Hold up, wait.
he created.
Can we pause on just talk about how awesome that is?
Yeah, yeah,
Get this guy who's famous for making these amazing high fantasy worlds and be like, "Yo, want to make a video game?" And he's like, "Yeah, bet. Here you go."
yeah. Like the
That's so cool.
I think the coolest part too is that like the Soul series has already kind of done that dark fantasy, right?
Yeah.
So they're really good at creating those worlds, and the fact that you got a guy that is really good at like writing high fantasy in general is just like
The fact that they did it in that order too meant
Yeah.
that he wasn't constrained by like
yeah,
we have to make it a video game. They're just like, you make it, and then we'll make it a video game.
yeah,
Like that means just like it's gonna be, I imagine, like very very creative in like, yes, it's dark fantasy, which has been done before, but it's gonna be this cool, unique FromSoft dark fantasy, which we all love already.
yeah. So from what I've heard is that he essentially wrote everything. So he built the world, all the world building, the story, all the characters. Like he did everything, and then FromSoft took that and made the game around it.
I'm just interested to see like all the cool creatures that we're gonna get to fight
Oh,
and
yeah,
interact
yeah.
with and stuff.
Yeah.
Like the handful that we see in the trailer are just like every shot. I was like, oh god, what's that? Then the
Yeah.
next one, oh god, what's that? Then the next one, what the hell is that?
Yeah, my dad had attributed it to, he's like, from seeing those creatures, it just reminds me of Bloodborne. I'm like, I mean, you're not wrong. 'Cause,
There was a little bit of Eldritch Abomination
Yeah.
going on. There was also just like dragons and shit too.
Yeah.
So
apparently for the game, there's going to be 6 different kind of open worlds to explore, with each of them being essentially a different kingdom.
so they're archstones. Okay, makes
Yeah.
sense. We've done that before.
Except it's an open world this time.
Yeah.
Character customization apparently is going to be a really big thing. So you're going to be able to
Or yeah.
you're supposed to be able to like take weapon arts from Dark Souls 3. They're now just like weapon skills, and you can kind of like change that up into a different weapon if you want.
That's something that I was gonna mention. Like Dark Souls 3 does really well, I think, in my opinion, is just like there's so many different weapons and so many different spells and so many different moves. Like you could think of anything that you wanted your character to look like or do, and like you can just like do it.
Yeah.
Because it's just like there's so much stuff in the game.
Yeah. Now they're giving you even more freedom, because
Right.
What they learned in Sekiro and what they learned in Dark Souls 3. So Dark Souls 3 had weapon arts. Weapon arts essentially kind of locked you into like a certain weapon class or a certain weapon, depending on what like the ability was. And then skills in Sekiro allowed you to kind of like take certain abilities depending on what you were doing. Now they're kind of just like meshing that together and saying, hey, all the weapon arts from like Dark Souls are now skills that you can just kind of attribute to yourself. So I think that's pretty like, but you're not just gonna have access to it. Obviously, you're gonna have to go and
Right, you'll
find
have to
that stuff.
progress and pick up items and level up and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So it's gonna have that Dark Souls feel for sure. But it's gonna be
the combat in Dark Souls just feels real good. So if it's like that, then it'll just be fun to run around and hack some stuff up and get hacked up in response.
Yeah. Was it the comparison that someone used was that the combat looks like Dark Souls, but it should feel a little bit more like Bloodborne. So you're not going to be forced and pigeonholed into playing defensively all the time.
A little more fast paced.
Yeah, you're going to have a lot of options too now, because you have a jump button, so you can actually like.
There's a jump button.
Yeah, there's a dodge.
So it's going to be like similar to Sekiro controls then.
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't played that game, but I've seen a lot of it, obviously.
Yeah. So.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah. That opens up just like a whole new like. You couldn't do jump moves in Dark Souls, but now you can.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't have a jump button. Right? I guess you did, but it was like. Not actually.
Right.
Not like Sekiro Jump or any other normal video game.
And then some more interesting stuff was the was it in the trailer there's like white summons. You can get more detail about this from other people, but from what I understand is that those are like defeated enemies that you can summon to like help you in certain areas.
Bro, I hope the co-op isn't Dark Souls co-op though.
From what I understand, they're having like a group / clan system to like allow for you can like group up with others to like only see their bloodstains and stuff like that. I'm not sure how they're gonna do co-op. I think it's gonna be more Souls-like, personally. Just guessing.
I guess if it's supposed to be like a free roam open world RPG kind of game, like probably lends itself to be more single player anyways. But
I think it'll depend. I hope that they aren't gonna just bring, because I heard that they're removing things like humanity and was the ephemeral eyes and stuff like that, where like you need that extra thing to enable co-op. I heard that they're getting rid of that stuff. I don't know if they're like getting rid of like how the soapstones work and how like you summon people. I'm hoping that you can just like put a password on and then invite your friend to do it. Like, or like if you want to do, or like I'm hoping that like that group system just allows you to do stuff like that, and then if you want to like grab a random person, you can still go with the classic soapstone route, right?
It just felt like for when we've played Dark Souls in the past, it just felt like unnecessary steps, and the only thing I want to do is just play with my friends.
Yeah,
that should be as easy as possible.
Yeah,
because whatever. But
yeah, so I'm they've done it so many times now. I just hope this is going to be the best.
It has gotten better over time. Yeah. It has gotten better over time.
Yeah,
so
just hopefully this is the best iteration of it, right? So
yeah, it looks good. I'm excited.
Yeah, this game looks.
And that's the beginning of the year next year too, so it's not actually that far away.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I think that's it. That's all I really wanted to talk about this E3. Really.
Yeah, I mean, I already talked about Breath of the Wild. We don't actually know a whole lot about it yet. We have like the 2 trailers that add up to about 3 minutes total.
Yeah.
And a release date, maybe. That's all we know. So I could speculate or give you my list of things that I hope to see and or not see
in a future video.
That's a different episode.
Yeah.
So we can wait.
Yeah. All right. Anything else that we want to cover here?
I think that's what we had to cover for this topic.
Yeah, for E3, that's all we have to cover.
We have some exciting stuff coming down the pipeline, though, that you might want to mention for people that don't know already.
Well, I mean, you are the host for next episode, so
sure, I can say yeah. So this will conclude our discussion about E3 and things we've seen. I'll say before we talk about stuff in the future, we're interested to hear what you guys all think. If you want to leave us a thing you were excited about or liked or didn't like about this year's E3, please let us know, or tweet at us or something. My Twitter is very barren and dusty. I need more tweets at me.
Yeah, you're telling me.
So the next couple of episodes, it's fucking wild. We got a bug, and for some reason we're like planning ahead, which is wild. We're not gonna get used to it, but
whoa.
I know. Episode 10, we're gonna have our first guest on the program. We're gonna have our buddy Tyler come on, who is a member of the University of Wisconsin esports competitive Call of Duty team. So we're gonna pick his brain about collegiate esports and how it works for him and his group, things like that. Super excited for that. And then also the episode after that one, so I guess 2 weeks? Something like that, 2 weeks from now or so.
Yeah, not this upcoming week, but the week after.
We're recording at a weird time, so my internal clock is weird.
It's your fault, that's why. It's
my fault. Doing that guest episode with our buddy Tyler, it's going to be fun. And then we're going to continue with what we started on the previous episode where we're picking each other's brains. So we're gonna flip flop, and Alex is gonna interrogate me for our episode 11. So if you weren't excited about it, just listen to the evil laugh, and that might get you excited.
There's gonna be some funny questions.
I hope so. I hope to say what the fuck, why, like 3 times that episode.
Oh, you will. Anyway,
All right.
I think that's it then. Yeah.
That is what's coming down the pipeline, and yeah, that'll do it for us on this one.
All right. Well, thank you very much for listening to the Friendgame podcast. This has been episode 9, as today has gone. I was your host, Alex. With me was the OG homie, Ian, and thanks for watching.